Diana's back. Kick her in the nads.
She doesn't have those!
I realized that the moment I said that. Oh, no, TAS. I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core.
She must be here.
The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure she was not here. I rolled out of bed and quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was a demon, but I was listening very intently. There was no way she would have known to sneak up on me. Are they going to talk in the kitchen? Because that's like Matthew's domain.
Probably.
Okay. I still can't believe Eric was in the freaking bathroom last time.
I know you're here. Where are you?
I could feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter... God. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd taken away the boys anymore. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut, which only grew as each day went by. The feud was getting on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. I wasn't going... Oh, I keep... Every time she does this, I forget. I wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
I wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
Leave me alone!
Hello?
Oh my god, I wish you could have heard that.
What? What happened?
He's like, leave me alone. Like, oh my god, that was so cute.
My heart stopped. Diana was with Matthew. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce Matthew in my head to further fan the angry flame inside of me and him whining. I almost growled at the sight. Matthew was holding to one side of the kitchen's island counter with Diana holding the other side, looking to him with a smirk. Is she chasing him around the kitchen?
Oh, come on, Matthew. Don't you like games? A game of tag sounds so fun.
Not with you. Now go away!
I'm hurt. Wounded, truly. Did I go too far?
You went too far when you came here and attacked her.
Pity. And here I thought I was going to offer you the chance to become something better than just a simple incubus.
What was Diana going on about? More than just an incubus? She was insane.
How about becoming the next demon lord?
I froze. What did she mean, becoming the next demon lord? The boys weren't in the demon world anymore. They had no claim to the throne anymore. Matthew stared at Diana, which made me worried.
The next demon lord?
Well, currently, I'm the contracted bride to the heir to the throne. Since the throne is open, it's available to any son of the demon lord's line. Think about it. You'll gain the throne, the land, and a bride to continue your lineage with. Doesn't that sound like a perfect life for an incubus like you? You'll show your father and mother how grown up you are, that you're not just some little cute boy people can take for granted.
I could feel myself gripping my fists tightly in anger. How dare this girl try to convince Matthew to return to the demon world? He ran away from it. He didn't have to go back. He shouldn't go back. My mind began to wonder, imagining him saying yes. He would leave and the brothers would follow to bring him back. They'd be trapped because Diana would make sure they could never leave. Matthew would be the new demon lord with Diana as his queen, and I'd lose him.
Like I would believe you.
You don't need to
Oh!
believe me, Matthew. You just need to come back home with me. I promise. You'll be respected as you were supposed to be.
You know, I'm not so sure that I believe you.
I wonder why.
It's almost as if the person most treating him like a child is you.
I'm not falling for it.
Fall for what? The truth? The truth is that your brothers still treat you like a child, even though the demon world is far behind you. The truth is that your little human love affair is fleeting. She can never see you as a man, just as a little boy who wants to grow up.
Stop it!
I stared as Matthew chucked a handful of knives at Diana, who ducked and dodged them with ease. They dug themselves into the tile wall before fading away, as if they didn't exist.
Thanks for hurting my kitchen, Matthew.
You
Kitchen
dare attack
nightmares.
me? I'm not going back. And that is final.
I could see Matthew's muscles tense and flex, wanting to attack Diana. The girl in question, however, took a deep breath and looked to Matthew with a pleading look.
You won't even return to your mother? She's been crying ever since you left.
Oh, that was a low blow. Come on.
You low-blowing bitch.
Do not bring her into this.
Matthew glared as Diana circled the island towards him.
She begged me to bring you back. She wants you to get what you deserve.
Oh my god.
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna kill her myself. What is that face?
Super unamused.
Matthew then walked away from Diana, heading to the fridge to start dinner as if she wasn't there. Diana stopped and leaned against the counter.
She'll never love you, you know.
I don't mind. I care for her.
The human girl.
Oh my
You must be
God.
joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. We're gonna bust a move.
Boop.
I decided to be assertive and quickly stepped into the room, rushing to be in front of Matthew. Diana and Matthew looked at me in surprise as I glared daggers at Diana.
Get out.
Well, well, little human. You're awfully nosy in business that doesn't concern you.
It does concern me.
Does it? I don't think a human would understand the importance of this affair.
You're asking him to leave to be someone he doesn't want to be. That's not going to happen.
Oh? And what makes you so sure about that?
I love him!
Oh my god! Diana stared in shock at my exclamation. Was it not what she expected? I didn't care what she expected. I wasn't going to lose the man I had grown to love.
I love him.
You love him?
Yes, I love him.
Matthew's just like, holy shit. Diana's lips twitched, the edges curling into an amused smirk as she stared at me.
So what? A human's love isn't enough to understand the situation. A demon can never reciprocate human feeling.
To both of our surprise, however, Matthew stepped forward and put an arm around me, pulling me close to his body.
I love her.
I saw the confidence Diana had shatter in her eyes as she stared at Matthew at his words. I could see the struggle in her face to try and find some weakness in Matthew, in me. Anything.
A demon love a human? Impossible.
Inconceivable.
I love her, Diana. I'd do anything for her. And she cares for me more than anyone in the abyssal plane ever had. More than you'll ever know. She makes me feel like the adult I'm supposed to be. And there's nothing you can do to change that. Ever.
Diana took a step back, physically feeling the sting of Matthew's words in her chest. She had lost. I could see it in her eyes. Diana's eyes grew dull as she glared at me and Matthew. It seemed almost uncharacteristic of her, yet it was something I wasn't surprised to see come from her face.
Very well. Fine. Valet.
Zoop. And with that, Diana faded into the ground into a purple pentagram, crossing her arms and almost looking upset. Matthew and I were then left alone, left with the silence of the room. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. Matthew stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you alright?
I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. Matthew let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace lightly. I could hear Matthew's heartbeat. He held me close in his arms, and I felt safe beyond words.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm okay. I'm holding you.
Pterodactyl.
Aww.
I looked up at Matthew, surprised at what he said. Matthew blushed, moving a strand of hair from my face to look down at me, because, we could do so much more than cooking.
You mean so much to me. You make me feel like more than just a kid. I've never felt this happy before with anyone, and here you are giving me every reason to love you. I love you so friggin' much.
Oh, you're adorable.
I wanna pinch his cheeks. I stared wide-eyed, blushing like a maniac. Was this real? No way, this couldn't be real. Was Matthew confessing to me? Confessing his love for me? Matthew gently caressed my cheek, staring into my eyes with a loving, almost hopeful expression. The warmth of his hand invited me to nuzzle into it, closing my eyes. This wasn't a dream. My heart was pounding hard enough where I was sure Matthew could hear it. Matthew gently leaned in, closing his eyes. He stopped, however, remaining just a mere torturous inch away from my lips. He wanted me to show my feelings for him. He had left himself open for me to kiss him or leave him empty. The power I had was unbelievable. I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. I gently leaned in, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. Matthew let out almost a surprised gasp against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist, pulling me close to him. I moved my arms up and around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deepen to a heated height. My chest was pounding, making me feel and see fireworks in my mind. Matthew was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural, to fall in love with someone so quickly. Maybe it was the sense magic I was thrown into. Maybe it was Cupid playing with my heart. Either way, I found myself melting at the thought of being with him. Yes. I found myself combing my fingers through Matthew's hair, making the man holding me softly tremble at my touch. He gently nibbled on my lower lip, asking me to deepen the kiss between us even further. I easily teased him before finally opening my mouth slightly for him. His tongue gently danced with mine as one of his hands slid up my back and cradled my head. He gently leaned my body back, making me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Am I the only person who thinks that, tongue kissing is gross?
No, you are not the only person.
It's so gross!
Yeah.
Anyway, gently though, Matthew slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. Wait, is he taller than us?
He is 5'6", I believe.
How tall are we?
5'4".
Oh, okay, it's 2 inches. Alright.
Yeah.
His eyes burned for me! Oh, hold on, that was
My
in the red.
heart burns for you!
Basically. His eyes burned for me. It's still in the red. Oh well, I can't do it. Wanting me to melt and buckle in his arms. I could feel myself melt already. Matthew opened his mouth to speak, but as a very small blush ran across his cheeks, he was reduced to shy silence. I stared as he tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy though, right?
Are you?
No, I
stared wide-eyed, feeling a blush on my cheeks grow. He didn't say anything more, but I knew what words would have followed if he continued. He wanted me. I was stunned. Was I that appealing to him? Was his passion really that deep for me? Matthew gently nuzzled my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak.
If you don't want to, we don't have to. I mean, it's up to you.
His voice cracked in the most endearing way. Have fun with this part.
Oh, not again. I have neighbors. Oh God, alright, here we go.
Softly and get closer to your mic.
I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. A moment with an incubus. He was a demon of sex, the purest form of lust and desire. My world would rock! That was definitely in the red. And I would enjoy every second of it.
It was in the red here, too.
God damn it. At the same time, I was indeed inexperienced. Diana wasn't wrong when she claimed me to be innocent. Did I want to give that innocence to him? Especially this early? I found myself forgetting the words yes and no. What could I say to him? I knew then what I wanted, but how to say it without breaking the moment. Alright, we're gonna do the hold of me. Do a save.
Boop.
Save a Dave. Save a horse. Ride a Matthew.
Hold me.
I wasn't ready, but I still wanted to give him the love he wanted. Holding me close was all I needed. All I wanted was somebody who cared. Part of me grew fearful of what Matthew would think. Would he hate me? Would he regret giving me his love? So many stories ended when sex wasn't given, and I didn't want this story to end.
No, he won't, 'cause he's not a terrible person.
Matthew, however, smiled and caressed my cheek happily in response, nodding in understanding. I could tell that he was okay with my decision, which made my heart flutter in joy. Matthew gently leaned in and kissed my lips once again, wanting both of us to cool down from our passionate high. I kissed back sweetly, feeling the heat in my chest die out peacefully. Matthew pulled away slowly, looking into my eyes to reveal a deep love that haunted his blue irises.
Alright, let's get you back to bed.
Can I have food first?
Oh my god, we've slept all day!
My god, no wonder we sleep so much. We barely eat anything.
Matthew then wrapped an arm around my shoulders and lowered his other arm underneath my knees. I easily held on to him as he lifted me up like a blushing bride. Wait. A blushing bride. And carried me out of the room and back towards my room. Matthew was kind enough to know my limit. I need help. I need help, Ren.
What?
I can't keep speaking. I need to trade off.
Matthew was kind enough to know my limits, and I trusted him to respect my choice. He wouldn't enthrall me to go against my wishes, nor would he force himself on me. He was normal.
I like your addition.
Matthew gently lowered me to my bed before petting my head with a loving smile. I'm not a cat. I was beaming in happiness. I didn't want it to end.
As Matthew turned to leave,
I think they said he was into kitty play.
Oh my god, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye. If I could get off this couch right now, I would.
As Matthew turned to leave, I quickly grabbed his arm.
Wait.
Matthew froze and looked back at me, awaiting my next command. He was going to obey no matter what I said, but he was anticipating what I was going to ask. I could see it in his eyes. However, I just wanted to be with him a little longer. I didn't want to rest alone.
Hold me.
I repeated my words, holding another meaning to those two words. Was he okay with what I wanted? It was so close to what he had asked for, but it wasn't going beyond what I had desired. Matthew took in my words and smiled, nodding before turning back to me and sliding into bed with me. I was surprised, but I happily melted into Matthew's arms as they wrapped themselves around my body. I rested my head against Matthew's chest, enjoying the warmth it provided as I closed my eyes. He truly loved me as I loved him. My rest with him was as peaceful as could be, the best sleep I had in days. When I opened my eyes, I felt Matthew still holding me, but he'd fallen asleep. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I couldn't believe it. I was lying next to a man I had grown to love with all my heart. His warm embrace made me feel safe, and as the tender moment we shared replayed in my head, I couldn't help but
Cough.
have an asthma attack. Smile and snuggle into his chest further. Unconsciously, he held me tighter to his body, giving me more of his warmth. And we load.
And we'll load. Alright. I'll try to pick up again.
Right.
Seduce me.
I couldn't believe the two words that came out of my mouth. It made the most sense to tell him yes. I needed him. I wanted him. Those two words must have made something in him finally break. Matthew gently wrapped his arms around me and went back to kissing me passionately. I could feel energy whiz about me, making me open one eye to see blue light glowing around us, 'cause that's normal. When the light subsided, I was in my bedroom on my bed with Matthew above me. I stared as Matthew held a look of both lust and love. My heart skipped a beat simply from his gaze on me. This was okay. I wanted to see all of him and give myself to him. I gently guided his head to me, kissing him softly and bringing him further into the mood. Matthew slid both his hoodie and his shirt off and tossed them to the side before cradling my head in his hands and kissing me deeply. I felt heat rise into my body, making me undo the tie underneath my collar and release the buttons on my own shirt.
Quickly, I removed my shirt and vest, making Matthew stop kissing me and stare in slight surprise. I was simply in a bra, but I could feel a blush invade my cheeks. My shy side began to fester in my mind. Did I really want this? To undress before a demon? No! This was the man I loved, and yet I felt my innocence drape over me in almost shame.
It's no shame! No shame! No shame!
I needed to fight it. I quickly rolled both of us over to where I was sitting on Matthew's lap, staring down at him. Matthew sat up, looking up at me with one of the sexiest smiles I had ever seen.
Is this different? This sounds different.
That's sexy. Yep. It might be unique.
Okay.
It might just be a touch to be like, see, he's not just a kid guy.
True. I can't purr.
What?
I can't. Can you do it for me?
Yes. Matthew pulled me close, knowing I was still shy, and began to kiss my lips over and over. Each kiss was his promise to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, love me. Spanish class comes in handy for once in my life.
All right. I can try to pick up again if you want.
Okay.
God. I kept my arms wrapped around Matthew, taking each kiss he gave and giving him my own kisses in return. I don't know if it was the fact we were both top nude. Oh, so we're not bottom nude yet. We're only top nude. Or maybe I just craved his touch, but I didn't want to let him go. However, as he held me, I could slightly feel the shiver of his hands. Was I his first? He wasn't going to tell me. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but was afraid of screwing it up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. As he laid me down and knelt over me, Matthew smiled and finally embraced me as we both desired. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to Matthew. My body, my mind, my soul, it all belonged to him as he held me. His body, his mind, his soul, it all belonged to me as I gave into his embrace. His kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memory as our passion rose through incredible heights. Her breaths and moans to each other equally sounded and echoed like a blissful chant we never wished to end. Oh my God.
It just goes on forever, right?
We kept moving, loving, feeling every inch of our bodies until we had had enough, and I was enveloped in his embrace. Skin to skin, heartbeats matching, we held each other in the glow of the aftermath. Or, the afterglow. I nuzzled my head under Matthew's chin as he held me close.
I love you.
I love you too.
Just to hear those words come from Matthew's mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my... wait, what? Oh, okay, got it. To hear me answer made my soul warm in glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful sleep together. It was the best sleep I'd had in days, and I was happy. I had love, and I had happiness. My life was simply perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.